Today I'm going to show you how to use Powder Perfection from OPI. So all the products you would need are the step 1 base, all right, and step number 2 activator, and of course number 3 top coat, all right. And today the color I'm using is Verde. Nice to meet you. It's part of Mexico City collection. And of course you also need the clear powder, all right. Okay, and of course you always need some files. Okay, all right, so let's get started. I already have done most of the prepping, so I already prepped the nails. If you want to see more in depth of how I do it, there's a video and we will put it in the description box so you can check that out. But the first step I'm going to do is just using the Band-Aid, all right. This just to ensure to remove all the dust and oil so you have a clean slate to work with. As you can tell, I already shaped the nails and everything. So there you go, okay? And then the next step I'm gonna use is the step 1, all right? This is base coat number 1 from the Powder Perfection system, okay? You want to apply, especially the first coat like this, about 90% of the nail, and you can go directly with the color powder. So first, I'm just going to take the base one and apply it about 90% of the nail. Probably a hair or two away the perimeter of the nail, the side walls and the cuticle. For dipping, you want to tip the nail about 45-degree angle like this. And then from the jar, you just push it in lightly and just go all the way into the nail. And you want to keep that powder on for about 3 to 4 seconds before you shake it off, okay? And I won't even brush it off until I'm done with the whole hand, all right? So this is one method that you can do, dip directly into the jar. But if you're working on a client for safety and health purpose, I would suggest using a disposable cup like this, or one of this too, and just take anything that you can scoop out the powder. So what I'm going to do here, again, same thing, apply the number 1 base, again about 90% of the nail. I won't even go on entire nail because you don't want to build too thick and you want to build it up slowly. So all you do is just pour the powder on like this. And same thing, you just want to leave the powder on for about 3 to 4 seconds and then tap it off. Once you're done with the whole hand, all you do is take the brush and just brush it off. So then the powder and the liquid really have the time to absorb everything on nicely, all right? And you won't, most likely you won't get the perfect even coat the first time. So now I'm gonna go in with the second coat. I'm gonna use base number 1. Now I'm gonna go closer to the cuticle area, okay? This time I'm gonna go tighter and much closer. Without flooding the cuticle and the side walls. You want to make sure you have enough the liquid. You want a nice even coat, okay? You just go in the same thing, tilt the nail about 45-degree angle and just lightly push the product up to the entire nail. And when you want to leave it there for about 3 to 4 seconds, and then you want to tap it off. Just like that, okay? I'm gonna do the same because I want to show you 2 different techniques. But since we want to save time, we're just gonna do one of each so you can see each process, all right? So the same thing with this one, I'm gonna go almost to 100% to entire nail. I'm just gonna go carefully, but you want to do even coat on entire nail. You want to make sure you got everything on the side wall. Okay, then I'm going to take this scoop And I'm gonna just fill it in. And same thing, I'm gonna leave it there for about 3 to 4 seconds for the liquid and powder to absorb in together, and then you can shake it out. And then if I see certain areas still wet, which means it doesn't absorb enough powder, then I can always pour a little bit on the side. All right, and leave it there for about 3 to 4 seconds again to let everything kind of soak in together, and then just shake it out. Okay, you do 2 coats of the color, then dust it off. So you can see with 2 coats it has better coverage. And now I look at the nail and see if I have enough even coverage. It looks like I do. So then I'm gonna move on with the clear powder. All right, this is Powder Perfection clear powder. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna pour it out. I'm not gonna dip the color into my clear. I don't wanna contaminate my powder, so I'm just gonna do a pour method on this one. All right. Next, I'm gonna do the last step, which is the 3rd coat with the clear powder. And this time you wanna do to have a nice coverage of entire nail as well. Thin, even coat. Just leave it there for about 3 to 4 seconds and move on to the next nail. So the next step, I'm gonna move in with activator. This step is very important because you want to use the activator to cure the powder and everything hardening, so to ensure your powder stay in nice and secure in place, and to have enough longevity of the powder, you want to use it sparingly, and you want to apply the tip as well. Okay guys, and you want to keep this on from about 2 to 4 minutes to cure. With dipping powder, another way to check if the nails are ready to file is just by clicking it. If you hear this clicking sound, which means the powder is totally hardening and curing, so now you can go ahead and start filing. Alright, so with the last coat of clear powder, it really helps when you do finish filing. It helps you to have that layer. It's safe for you to file into the nails, and then it gives you enough room to shape the nails. So always finish off with the clear powder, okay guys? Go ahead and do a straight lateral side first. And the dip powder is really nice and soft, so really it doesn't take a lot to file and shape. I'm using edge 180 side of the file, and just do the lateral side wall and the extension edge. Okay, so now that I have done the side walls and the extension edge already, to speed up the process of shaping, I'm just gonna go ahead with a medium carbide bit, but you can use a fine too, with just very low speed of about maybe just 10,000 RPM. Go around the cuticle area. That way, for me, I find that it's a lot quicker for me. Okay, so how I'm gonna do is by turning my client's nail and taunt the skin out a little bit, and just go one direction, and with the low speed, and very gently, just go and contour that cuticle area. As you can see, I'm not putting any pressure to my shaping at all. I just want to minimize that bulk a little bit, and just easily can go really tight around the cuticle area and smooth out that little ledge right there. And if I notice if I have a little, thicker area around the side, I can go easily just put a little light pressure and just minimize that bulkiness a little bit. So once I'm happy with that, basically I'm just go back and straight out just one more time make sure everything is lined up straight. You want to, from this side right here, go straight down to your lateral side, okay guys? Same thing with this finger, from this angle right here, all the way straight out, from the cuticle right there, okay? Go straight out. So that's where you want your finger slowly just contour on the sides right here. Everything nice and flush, just very gently, because dip powder is very soft and very fine, so you don't really need to put a lot of pressure when you do filing. So once I shape and I get to the shape that I want already, now I just want to buff it up. You want to buff with dipping powder, you want to buff really well and smooth, so then you can have a flawless shine at the end with the top coat, okay guys? So this is what I'm doing. Just basically just go back to my step from the sidewalls to the surface of the nail, and even with the cuticle area, I just want to make sure I buff everything nice and smooth. And I'm going to do the same with both fingers. Once you're done with all the shaping and then you cleanse the nail, then I'm going to go in with the activator before I'm going to put the step number 3 top coat. You need the activator because you want to have a fast curing time with the top coat, okay guys? I'm going to go in with the Powder Perfection top coat. Alright, so the next step, I'm just going to apply sparingly with the activator on the surface of the nail. Okay, and I'm going to do the same with this one as well. Alright, and then you want to wait for about 2 to 4 minutes. It's about 2 minutes, so now I think I'm okay. But before I'm gonna put the top coat, I'm just gonna wipe the surface a little bit, give it a dry wipe. All right, and now I'm just gonna go ahead with the first coat of step number 3. And you don't wanna, with this step, you don't wanna apply the top coat over and over. Just keep it one thin coat, just one swipe, and that's good enough. And you're not going to get a nice glossy surface with the first coat. You will get that with the second coat, okay? Apply all the fingers on the first hand and finish the second hand, and go back to apply the second coat on the first hand again. So now I'm going to go in with the second coat. So once you're done with all the top coats, you want to give about 3 to 5 minutes, depends on the temperature in your salon or the environment that you're in. Then you pretty much dry, and once it's dry, I would recommend you to put some cuticle oil. All right, so now I'm just gonna put some few drops so you can see how it looks. And you want to massage it into the cuticle. Alright guys, so let me just give you a recap of a few things that I want you to pay attention to. Is that the first thing is that when you need to prep the nails really well, and of course cleanse the nail, and remember to put Band-Aid before your service. And second, practice to apply even and thin coat on your step 1, which is the base one. You really want to apply thin and even, so then your powder can adhere on really nice and even as well. If you didn't get that into like a nice smooth surface yet, keep on practicing, because I feel like maybe take your gel polish and just practice that even application first, and then go ahead move on to the base one, because this is the resin, so it dries pretty quickly. And another tip I want to give you too is do one finger at a time. You don't want to do all 5 fingers and dip. You want to do one finger, base, dip, okay, until you finish one hand, then move on to the next hand. Okay guys, I hope all the tips I give you really helps you to give you more like a smooth and flawless application with dipping, whether you do it home for yourself or in a salon. I feel like you really need to take some time to practice on that base one application so you can get that nice and even coat. I feel like that's really the most important step here. And of course, remember to activate it on, you need to apply it on sparingly, so then it gives enough liquid to cure the powder to adhere everything together. Okay guys, all right, keep on practicing. If you guys have any other requests from me, let me know, or if any tips that you may want to share with me that you try and chew and you like, please share as well. All right guys, thank you so much for your time. Again, please subscribe and follow us, and so you don't miss out any other videos. All right guys, have a good one. See you next time. Bye guys.